Hey everyone, Wahl educator Nieves Almaraz here, and I'm going to be taking you guys today step by step through the fading process. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the Wahl Mentor detachable blade system, which is a clipper that comes with 4 detachable blades. So when you want to cut from longer to shorter or shorter to longer, you have to detach the blades on this clipper. So I'm going to show you guys some cool tricks and tips to get you through that. I'm also going to be focusing on Wahl's Clinic Clip. This is a 2-minute fast action time for a disinfectant. And I'm also going to be showing you guys a pretty cool surprise. And this fade itself got a twist on it. It's actually inspired by the infamous Byrd Mena from Sharp Fade's haircut. So check it out, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Alright guys, so here we go. This is Wahl's Clinic Clip. This is that 2-minute fast acting disinfectant spray. So you want to start off by spraying down your tools. 1 or 2 sprays on the front and back is sufficient. You want to give it 2 minutes to just kind of sit on the surface, and that'll help get everything disinfectant. I usually let mine air dry. You're also going to want to make sure you remove all debris and like little hair follicles out of your tools before you put your disinfectant on. So if you guys do know Byrd Mena, you know that he's infamous for his hats. So we put a Disruptour hat on just to kind of play around. I told my son, let's play to the camera, have a little fun with this haircut. So here we go. Right down the middle, I'm going to take the number 2 metal detachable blade, and I'm going to go straight down the middle on this haircut. And that's one thing I like about metal detachables. They're so aggressive when they cut, and everything just cuts so smoothly. So just take a look at how you detach and remove and put the blades on. This can be a little tricky if you're not used to doing it. There is a release lever on the Mentor Clipper itself in the back, which releases the blade from the actual clipper. I'm going to start off with the 1A, and I'm going to start blending on the side of the temple, and I'm going to work this around the head. I'll go from temple to temple with this, and I'm bringing it just to the parietal ridge. One thing I like to do also is kind of when you get to the round parts of the head, I like to kind of use like more of the corner of the blade rather than resting the whole blade on the scalp. This kind of helps you with blending just by using like the first 4 teeth of the blade, using the corner of the blade. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch the blade to the number 1. I'm actually starting this from the higher blade, which would be the 1A. And I'm going to work down from the 1A. So I'm going number 1 after the 1A, then I'll use the OA, and then I'll use the 3/0. So the key is just not to go and cut with your shorter blade where you already cut with the longer blade. So you almost have to develop an eye when you're blending. I always recommend that you use your mirror and you kind of take a step back away from your work just to make sure that you're not leaving any lines of demarcation. So I'm going to continue with the number 1 as I did with the 1A, and I'll work that back from one side of the head to the other. Now I'm going to switch out to the OA. So the OA is going to transition into the 1 blade. So I'll work that from one side of the head to the other. And keep in mind, I'm still working using my corners. If it's like a lot of surface on the scalp, I'll use the whole blade. But when I come to the rounds of the head, and just to help make me blend in better, I'll definitely use the corners of the blade. Now I'm gonna switch to the 3/0, and this blade is a little tricky, especially when you're blending. So I do use the corners a lot more. Uh, the 4 blade system, definitely Wahl has changed the game on metal detachables. The blades themselves, they not only run cooler, but they're also cut in a certain way to help one transition into the other. So that's kind of like the beauty of the blade system itself. And when you have such an aggressive clipper and you put those on there, like the Mentor, it's second to none. So let's think about it. We started with the 1A, then we used the 1, then we used the OA, and now we're finishing off with the 3/0, which some people might call it like a 3/0, 3/0. So just know this is the shortest blade that is in the set of blades. Now I'm going to start working with my cordless detailer Ally. This is a very aggressive trimmer and it has a precision cutting blade on it. The blade is actually called the T-wide blade that is on this tool. And I'm going to work this from one side of the head to the other. But I'm also going to show you guys a very cool tip and a trick actually that will help you not make a very harsh line of demarcation. So keep in mind that this is going to be a bald fade. So I'm going to come down all the way to my shaver on the bottom. So the mistake a lot of people make is that they'll start working with their shaver and they'll create another line in their haircut, a line of demarcation that is very hard to get out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave myself a guide, and right now when I come back with my finale shaver, that guide that I left there with the longer hair, that's going to assist me so that I don't bring my shaver too far up. And what happens is people will go too high up with that shaver and it'll be difficult, almost impossible, to get the line of demarcation out. So just by me leaving that longer hair there, that is kind of like a reference. It's a guide to let me know not to bring up my shaver past that point. So once I'm finished with my finale shaver, I'll come back with the cordless detailer Li and I'll remove my guide. I'll start working all that out from one side of the head to the other. And you could see I'm getting a very good transition in there. Also, the cutting blades, like the 3/0 cutting blade, it cuts so finely that your trimmer will blend right into it. So you can see as I start to work this around the head, I'm not having any difficulty with my trimmer blending right into the clipper work that I did. And like I said, this is a great tip and a great trick for you guys to utilize. That way you don't make a mistake. Now I'm going to use my precision cutting blade, that T-wide blade, on my cordless detailer Li, and I'm going to work the front hairline. I'm going to clean that up and make it nice and sharp. I always like to start off in the center, and then I work my way to one corner of the hairline, and then I do the same on the other side. I always take a step back or I utilize my mirror to make sure that I'm actually cutting a straight line. So for those of us who don't use a straight razor, you can always follow back with your finale shaver after you use your detailer or your trimmer and clean out the hairline. This is a very close cutting tool, so you can get a clean hairline just by following back with your finale shaver. I'm going to follow up with the straight razor and I'm going to use from Wahl's 1919 wet line. I'm going to use the shave cream that they have. I'm only going to use a small amount and I'm going to go ahead and rub that into the area where I'm going to shave at. Now, once I have that worked in, I'm going to go ahead and follow with my straight razor. I always like to pull the skin when I'm working with my straight razor. This helps me not apply too much pressure and possibly cut my client. So I definitely like to stretch the skin a lot, and I pull the skin a lot when I am working with my straight edge razor. Once I'm done shaving, I'll follow up with some 1919 aftershave moisturizer. So you'll just apply a little bit to the area that you shaved and just rub it in. Alright, so now I'm going to have a little fun, and I'm going to put a little twist on Byrd's haircut. And I'm going to add some designs going straight down the center of this haircut now. So I'll use my cordless detailer Li with the precision cutting blade, and you can see that the blade on this is the T wide blade, so it's gonna help me cover a lot of area. And a lot of times I like to use just the corner of this tool, so the T blade and the corner of it, it kind of acts and helps me use it as if I were using a pencil. I often get asked, what is your inspiration, or what do you do? Do you work off of a pattern when you do designs? And I always start off my designs. I either use like letters or numbers or shapes when I'm working. And you could see when I'm beginning this design, I'm beginning with the actual letter N. And I use a lot of N's all the time because my name is Nieves, and that's my first initial. So I always usually start off my designs with the letter N, and then I'll attach like other letters or other shapes to it. I'm attaching a C right now to this design, and I'll kind of go in lightly and make like a rough draft, and then I'll start to actually really get in there a little deeper and make the design pop more and cut a little bit closer to the scalp so that the design does show. So you can see to this end now, I'm connecting a C. And once I finish cleaning this out, I'm going to go ahead and connect off of that C. I'm going to connect another letter, and that'll be the letter N. It'll almost look like a Z as well. It just depends on what angle that you're looking at it from. But I always say I use the letter Z a lot as well because of my last name, Almaraz. The last letter in my last name is a Z. So I use a lot of N's and Z's, as you can see right here. So if you're looking for like an easy way to kind of like get a visual on doing designs, definitely capitalize off of this. N's, C's, Z's. I do show a lot of this kind of work on my Instagram page and my social media. If you want to follow me there, just go ahead and look me up at How to Fade Hair. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of the platforms as How to Fade Hair. So now that I have the design in, I'm going to go ahead and lighten his hair. This again is inspiration from Byrd Mena. If you know him, you know what I mean. Alright, so we're back from the processing of the hair lightener, and I'm going to take my cordless magic clip now, and I'm going to go ahead and clipper over comb where I did the shorter clipper work from the Mentor. I left off at the 1A at this point, and I'm going to go ahead and blend in the longer hair just a little bit more. So when I'm doing clipper over comb work, I usually will use most of the clipper blade sideways when I'm removing like a lot of hair, like a lot of bulk. But when I do blend with my clipper, I'll turn my clipper teeth facing up, and I'll actually use more of the corner of the blade. So I'm going to go ahead and saturate the hair now. I'm going to wet it down and I'm going to switch to the Big Mag. So the Big Mag is a detachable clipper and it has this accessory blade. This is the all-in-one blade. It's an adjustable blade, and when you adjust it to certain adjustments, it will actually work like if you were using a feather razor. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this and use this like if I were using a feather razor, and I'm going to add texture to the longer length of hair on top. I'm going to take about 1 inch sections and I'm going to work from the back of the head and I'm going to work towards the front fringe. So I'm going to get up as close as I can. I'm going to adjust the camera here. I am recording this from a tripod. So what you want to do is you want to apply pressure by pushing the hair up against the machine by using your thumb. So you'll use your thumb to push the hair up against the clipper and then you'll just pull up. And again, same on this side. I'll take 1 inch sections from the starting from the back and I'll work towards the front fringe. So once I got that in, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the blade on the clipper to the middle position. And this is not going to be as aggressive as a feather razor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just comb the hair and brush across it lightly. And this is going to add a lot of texture and movement at the tips. I'll go ahead and do this to both sides. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and blow dry the hair and prep it so that I can style it. So I am going to use Wahl's 1919 product again, and this is called fiber paste. So it has a medium hold and a natural finish. So I'll just rub that into my hands and then I'll get it and work it through the hair. Once you got that good texture in, you could definitely just kind of use your fingertips to twist the hair and that'll add like a nice look to it. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Me and my model, he actually is my son. We had a blast making this video. It was a lot of fun. We are going through some things today in this day and age, and just for me to kind of sit back and have a little bit of time with my son, it was definitely worth it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Shout out to Byrd Mena from Sharp Fade. Shout out to Wahl Clipper. Remember, use your Clinic Clip. 2 minutes fast action acting time on disinfecting. The fastest acting disinfectant spray on the market. We will see you guys soon. I am Nieves Almaraz, Wahl educator, and thank you guys for watching.